So I live by myself. I had my first house at 17, and I had a few odd and end jobs. But
how'd you support yourself?
I went to school. I went to school I did 3 semesters uh uh, I can't think of it.
3 semesters after your GED?
Yeah, I did 3 semesters. I did 1 semester at Henry Ford, and I did 2 at WC3 for pre-engineering.
And what else were you looking to train for?
I trained.
How about Kajavia Globe? How long did you know Kajavia?
I met Kajavia at Communication and Media Arts High School. Where we had a computer class together. It was first hour. And
How old were you guys?
14.
Did you guys become friends?
Yes.
Did you have a dating relationship while you were still in high school?
Yeah, somewhat, but it didn't get, it wasn't as serious as it had turned into. But we did date throughout the 9th grade, but it got more serious in 10th grade.
What year are we talking about?
Well, I was in 9th grade in 2006, so I would say it got more serious in 2007.
Did you continue to see her once you got out of school and you were doing your thing?
Yes. She helped decorate my first house.
Where was that?
On Brill Street in Detroit.
Did you grow to love her?
Yes, very much so.
You dated other women too?
Yes. Well, Kajavia and I both dated other people. You know, throughout those years, yes, I did date other people.
And you say Kajavia did as well?
Yes.
There come a time that you had to go away to jail for a little while.
Yes.
When was that?
In 2011, I believe it was. Someone robbed me, and in the process of that robbery, I had a weapon of my own that I pulled out, and I shot that person. And as a result of that, the weapon that I had was not legal to me. At that time, I was thinking 18 or 19, and I couldn't have legally a gun at that time. And so I was charged with felony firearm and sentenced to 2 years in prison.
Did you continue contact with Kajavia?
Yes.
She come see you?
Yes.
Any of your other friends, did Brandis come to see you?
Just maybe a few times, but Kajavia came a lot. She came like every week.
What was your relationship with Kajavia's people? Her mother, her sister?
You refer to her family overall?
Yes.
Well, in the beginning, from my understanding and from being around them, her sisters and cousins were okay. Like we had no issues, but her mom, in the very beginning, I guess Kajavia explained to her mom that, you know, my growing up situation, kind of like a broken home type of deal. My mom died when I was 2, and I came from like a broken home, in and out of like the foster care system or whatever at a point in time. And as far as I know, through her, because I never knew exactly what it was or why she didn't like me, but she did not want her dating someone that came from like a broken home. She would have much rather her dated someone that came from a home with like mother and father, you know, in their life type of thing.
Did you continue to see her?
Yes.
And she continued to want to be with you?
Yes.
Back in October 2015, where were you living then?
In October of 2015, I was living, I rented a house on Burgess and Pembroke in Detroit, northwest side, and it actually, I could like see Kajavia's mom's house from this house. I rented this house, but the house had a lot of issues with it, so I went back to Canton where I was staying beforehand. But I had a lot of business dealings period in Detroit, in the city.
What kind of business dealing?
Just.
You never answered the question of where he was living.
Go ahead.
Let's get it.
I was living on. I was living in Canton at the time, but I was at Fielding also. I lived there also. Because of my business dealings in the city, I needed somewhere in the city where I could be. So I stayed at Fielding.
What kind of business dealings are we talking about?
I sold prescription pills.
That's how you made a few dollars, right?
Yes.
No, that was against the law.
Yes.
You're still seeing Kajavia?
In October, yeah, I was seeing her. We seen each other probably about 2 times a week at that time, because she was, you know, in a relationship, and she lived with the guy at that time.
Who was she living with then, do you know?
Yeah, John.
She was living with John Black?
Yes.
Did you ever meet him?
No, I never met him, but she brought him to the house on Fielding once.
She did bring him to the house on Fielding once?
Yeah.
When would that have been?
I want to say it was around September, because I had just like got into a car accident in my car, and she was calling my phone, and I wasn't answering, and so she went like looking for me, and she went to one house on Evergreen, then she came to that house, and I was at the house, and she was in the Benz.
In the
and
silver
John,
Benz?
right, and John was with her.
This was September 2015?
This was, yeah, September 2015. And
did you have any interaction with him?
no, he stayed in the car. As far as my understanding, he thought that she was dropping off. Okay, I'm sorry.
And what happened?
She just said she was looking for me, and while I wasn't answering my phone.
Were you still having a relationship with her during that period of time?
Yes.
Who else were you having relationships
I
with?
think we need to go on from September to December.
Okay. After Thanksgiving, November 27th, what happens then?
I sent her, okay, Kajavia switched phones.
Yeah.
She got a phone under John's name. She did not want to contact me on that phone, so she always sent me emails to contact me. So we emailed each other that morning, and she sent me an email that said, "We cannot email anymore. Give me another number to call you on. I can't call you on your phone."
This is Kajavia saying to you, "Don't email me." What was the reason for that, do you know?
Upon talking to her, she had told me that John had somehow saw the emails that we were emailing back and forth, which was, you know, like when we were going to meet up type of deal. And so she said that he was mad about it or whatever, and that we couldn't email anymore because now he's looking at the emails.
So how did you stop emailing each other?
I stopped emailing her from that point on.
Did you still contact her?
Yeah, she just started straight up calling me, because before then, like I said, if she did call me, it would be private. Like, I'd never called her, you know, before December. She always called me, always. I never, because I didn't even have a number after she got on the plan with John.
When you say she got on the plan with John, what did that mean to you?
He bought her a phone on his cell phone plan.
Kajavia ever come over to the house on Fielding?
Yes.
How often would that happen?
We met up probably like 2-3 times a week. I would probably say like maybe once out the week it would be on Fielding. She would come over there.
Was there a typical time that would happen, or?
It would usually be after, like right after she got off work. From my understanding, she used to get off work at about 3 o'clock, 3:30. That would be like an early day, and she would come like right around that time, and then we would spend time together, and then she would leave. She would be gone by 6 because John would be home, and she didn't want to, like, you know, alarm or alert him to make him think that she was doing something she wasn't supposed to be doing.
Was the idea that she was not telling John what she was up to with you?
Well, of course.
December 5th. You remember that date?
Yes.
What happened then?
December 5th, I believe that was the second time that we were actually in the Benz, but she pulled up on Fielding. Well, she did let me know before she got there that day, and she pulled up in the Benz, and from there we December 5th was a Saturday, and she had plans to go to a baby shower that day with her sister, somebody's baby shower, and she wanted to get some gifts beforehand. So she came and met me on Fielding,
Right.
and I was driving, but you know, we drove the Benz. We got in the Benz. I got in the Benz.
Where'd
and
you go?
we went to Walmart, and she picked out some various whatever, like baby shower gifts or whatever, and then we went across the street to a Dollar Tree, and got some other like baby shower gifts, like the bag and the balloons.
So you spent some time with her on December 5th, Saturday.
Right, and then upon leaving there in the Benz, we went. We had made plans to go to the casino. So before we went to the casino, we stopped at the car wash on 7 Mile and Pearson,
Yeah.
and we got a car wash, like the outside of the car.
Is that when you saw Brandon Watts?
That is when I saw Brandon Watts. Yeah, December 5th.
And you were with Kajavia in the silver Benz?
Yes.
And where'd you guys go from there?
We went downtown. We stopped on Jefferson, just past, what is that? I think 94, the freeway. It's a party store there, and we stopped at that party store, and it was like a new Ciroc out that she wanted to try, and I bought it for apple Ciroc, and then from there we went to MGM.
What was your relationship like at that point in time, as of December 5th?
At that point in time, it was the same as it had been since about July. Like, we were it had gotten a lot better since July because, you know, she met John. It actually it improved a lot. It was a lot of problems before, but we would see each other approximately 2 or 3 times a week, usually during the weekdays.
Monday, December 7th. Does that come to mind? You know what happened that day? Did you do a timeline of the events that you've been involved with in this case?
Yes.
Would it help you to take a look at that?
Yes. Oh, I remember Monday too, but I also would like that.
Your Honor, refresh the witness's memory. You identify that document you're looking at?
Yes.
What is it?
It's a timeline that that I came up, that I wrote out with some of the help of Mr. Salisbury.
And you put your best recollections of the
Yes,
various
everything
days.
that I did from specifically from December 11th to December 14th.
Looking at December 7th, what happened on December 7th? Does that...
Object to the defendant reading from this document.
And I didn't mean to...
Sustain.
Yes.
Okay.
Looking at that, does that reflect...
Yes,
refresh
it
your-
refreshes my memory.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell me what you did on Monday,
December 7th, Kajavia texted me early in the morning, which was a normal thing because she contacted me mostly while she was at work. She contacted me and you know, we agreed to meet after work. About 3 o'clock, she showed up on Fielding where we...
That in the afternoon?
Yes, 3 o'clock p.m. And we had sex.
How'd she get there? Is that...
That day in particular, I'm not sure what car she was in that day.
So you're
on that
over
Monday.
You're over at Emily Shepard's house.
Yes.
The house that you're staying at too.
Yes.
And you have sex there at the house.
Yes.
In the bedroom.
Yes.
The bedroom with the red wall.
Yes.
Do you know Kajavia was videoing that or recording that sex act?
No, not initially.
When did you find that out?
After it was all over, I got in the shower, and while I was in the shower, I heard her on the phone. And when I came out the room, she threw the phone at me, and it was Emily on the phone. And so that's when I found out, because Emily was asking me, like, she was saying, like, you know, really, you got her calling my phone type of deal.
What did you find? What did you mean you found out? What did you find out?
That while we were in the middle of having sex, she had the camera positioned to where I couldn't see it, like right over her shoulder. And I wasn't even looking up. I was actually just looking down the whole time. I didn't even notice initially that I was being recorded. And
she sent that video to Emily?
She sent the video to Emily.
You know why?
I don't know if he can answer that.
If you know why.
He can't speculate as to what was in the mind of Ms. Globe.
Did Ms. Globe say why she sent it?
She said that Emily, or no, I can't remember verbatim what she said, but to sum it up,
I'm going to object if he can't remember verbatim.
You remember what it was all about? Why she did that?
yes, she wanted to show Emily that
Your
she...
Honor, I object if he can't remember verbatim, then he cannot recite.
Was it?
Well, we can get the essence of it. What he cannot do is speculate as to what was going on in Ms. Globe's mind. If he remembers something that she said or she did, he can testify to that.
Do you?
Yes.
And what was that?
That she wanted to show her, it was in different words, but she wanted to show her that she was still number one in my life.
That Kajavia was still number one?
Yes.
Did Emily answer back?
Emily was very nonchalant about it because Emily it really didn't bother her because of the type of relationship that her and I already had prior.
That's not responsive? Right. I think we have an answer there. Ms. Shepard was on the phone talking to the defendant about it. So
did it cause...
There was a response, according to the evidence, anyway.
Well,
did it cause trouble between you and Kajavia?
No. No. All I really did as a result of that, her sending the video, I just told her she was childish. I just told her she was childish and it wouldn't change anything. Her sending Emily the video of us having sex wouldn't change anything because Emily already knew what's going on.
What was your relationship with Emily at that point?
Emily was a friend that I had met, and it got pretty heated pretty quick. And originally we had like a small business like type of arrangement, but then that kind of went out the window because we were in like a relationship, so to speak. It wasn't a fully like committed relationship. It was like an open relationship where we both dealt with other people and we knew it and we didn't have a problem with it.
And that was going on during that time?
Yeah, throughout the whole time.
Were you still living there, or were you moving out? What was your status at the house?
Technically, I moved all my stuff out of there around, I want to say October, the end of October, I think. I moved all my stuff out, or most of it.
But you were still staying there?
But I was still there, yeah.
How often? What was the purpose of that?
Because when I met people to do like business transactions or whatever, it was always at that house.
When you're talking business transactions, you're talking about what?
All of the
stuff you're dealing in?
Yeah, that activity. I always met them there. Everybody knew to come there.
Did you see Kajavia again during the week?
Yeah, Wednesday. We talked Tuesday too throughout the day, but we didn't see each other. Wednesday, while she was at work, she said that she had got her Aunt Gail's card, which was a usual thing for her. She always got Aunt Gail's card, her bridge card.
Oh,
Aunt Gail always let her use the bridge card, yeah. And she said she was going to Randazzo's to get like fruits and vegetables. And she said she wanted to talk, so could she come talk? So I said, yeah, cool. And she came, and
came where? Is that...
She came on Fielding. And this particular day, I know for sure she was in the Impala. This particular day. This was Wednesday, December 7th. 9th, yeah, Wednesday. And after she got off work, which was again about, I want to say about 3:30, she came, and I got in the Impala because where the Randazzo's is, my license is suspended and I don't drive on Telegraph right there at all. So we went to Randazzo's, and she picked up like fruits and vegetables. I got a few items, but and the next stop was supposed to be a meat market, but we didn't make it to the meat market. She brought up Ashley, and she wanted me to stop talking to Ashley. She didn't have a problem with me dealing with Emily, but she wanted me to stop talking to Ashley, period. And my stance with that was, how can you be mad about or have a say-so who I talk to, and you live with a boyfriend that you have? It shouldn't matter. And she said she got one boyfriend, I should have one girlfriend, and it should just be Emily, not Ashley. And I told her no. I told her I was going to still talk to her, and I told her Ashley was my friend. So she said that she was done and she wanted to take me home. I said okay, and that was the end of that.
Did you see her again or talk to her? What was the state of your relationship at that time?
I mean, pretty much the same. I mean, it really wasn't, I wouldn't even characterize it as an argument. It was just, basically she made a request that I refused, and as a result of that, she didn't want to go to the mini mart anymore. So I said, okay, that's cool. We did talk later on that night via text, and she seemed over it, and that was it as far as that go.
You had a lot of text messages back and forth with Kajavia over the days?
Usually if we did text or talk, it would be while she was at work or during the day, because in the evening she was home with John. Sometimes we did talk at home, but she would like, Kajavia had a lot of friends that were gay. She really had a bond with a lot of guys that were gay, and they were awesome, but she had this one friend named Sean.
Excuse me, let me have the word. question?
Mr. Brack, did you talk to Kajavia on December 11th, Friday?
Yes.
Describe your contacts with her, if you would. And if it would help you to look at the...
Right. I remember somewhat of it. Early in the morning, like normal, while she's at work, that was our most contact. She tried to call me, I tried to call her. We kind of missing each other phone calls back and forth. And then we talked.
This is Friday morning?
This is Friday morning. I want to say the first time we actually talked, I want to say it was around 11. It was in the morning, between 10 and 11 o'clock was about the first time that we actually talked. And it was nothing short of normal talk, like a 2 or 3 minute conversation, like what you doing, is you up yet, yeah, type of, it really wasn't anything until our later call, which was about around the 1:30 call.
Where were you when you got the first call?
Oh, I was home. I was at the house on Fielding, yes.
There come a time that you left Fielding?
Yes.
When was that?
I left Fielding with Ashley about, I want to say it was about 11:30, 12 o'clock,
Where'd you
sometime
go?
around there. She had to be to work, so I dropped her off to work. I used her car a lot, so
The Cadillac?
yes.
You dropped her off where?
The
Sears?
Yeah, on 7 Mile and Middlebelt.
And what happened now?
When we got to the Sears, Ashley noticed she forgot a birthday gift and her work badge. She was saying to me, and my stomach was like rumbling. So I went in the store to use the bathroom while she went around the corner to her house to get the badge and the birthday gift, because we were planning to go to a birthday party right after she got off work.
Did you have any contact with Kajavia during that period of time?
During that period of time, while I was in the bathroom, she called my phone. And that's when we had a conversation about, she asked me what was I doing throughout the day, type of deal. And I told her I had some plans or whatever, I had some stuff going on. And I asked her what she was doing. And she told me what she was doing. She told me she was going to the market for the meat, because remember we went and got the vegetables and stuff. So she said she still had to go to the meat market, and she was going to go to the meat market, and that her and John was getting ready to get some kids for the weekend, and she was having him like clean out a room or something.
And what were you doing?
At that time at Sears.
All right. Did you see her at all during that period
No.
of the day? You didn't see her at all?
No.
You know where she was?
As far, she didn't tell me where she was. I automatically assumed she was at work, but I didn't know. She never told me, you know, where she was. That never came up. It was kind of more like a what you doing today type of deal. What do you have up for today?
And then what did you do after you talked to her? After you dropped Ashley off at Sears?
After I got off the phone with her, I stayed there at the Sears probably till about 2:15.
And then what did you do?
2:15, 2:30, and then I got in the car and I left.
Where'd you go?
The first place I went, I went back on Fielding, where Emily was at the house. When I left the house that day, Emily was there. When I got back, about 2:30ish, she was at the house.
Did you make phone calls from there?
I'm sure I did.
They show up on your call records?
Yes.
You've verified that? You've looked at all those call records?
Yes.
And you made calls over in the Fielding area?
Yes.
What time of the day was that?
2:30, 2:45.
Who were you talking to?
It was a guy that I was meeting to do some business with or whatever. I talked to him over there, and I met him.
How long did you stay over at Fielding?
I stayed on field and I left about, I want to say about, I met the guy on Trinity about 2:45, 3 o'clock. Then I went right back on Fielding because it was right around the corner where I met this guy. And then I went back to the house. And then I left the house again. I left the house, I probably was there about 45 minutes again with Emily before I left again.
Emily was at the house too?
Yes.
Kajavia wasn't there?
No. No. Kajavia and Emily would never be together at one setting.
And then what did you do after, I take it you left at some point?
Yes, I left in the Cadillac to meet, a friend had called me and asked me to meet her to come do some business or whatever, and I went and I met her on Claremont and Grand River.
And what were you doing there?
Well, what I was supposed to be doing, I was supposed to be purchasing purchasing some prescription cough syrup.
And then what did you do?
No, I went there and I waited on her at the it's a Church's Chicken there in the parking lot, and I waited, and she was kind of taking a while, but while I waited I called Emily, and then I talked to Kajavia, or I called her.
When did you call Kajavia?
While I was in that parking lot. And I also called the person who I was waiting on. And then one of my cousins called me, all while I was sitting there within probably, I want to say about a 30-minute time frame.
Where were you?
In the parking lot.
Which parking lot?
Of Church's Chicken.
Church's Chicken on where?
On Claremont and Grand River. Or Joy Road. It's one side is Claremont, the other side is Joy Road, I think.
What'd you do after that?
They were like taking a long time, so I just ended up leaving. And I have a medical marijuana card, so I went, and my dispensary is like one of the ones that I frequent is in that area, or not too far from that area. So I went there, and
conducted business there and left?
No, I went there to buy.
To buy what you bought?
My medical marijuana, yeah.
And then where'd you go?
You need to put some time. Right?
Yeah. This was about
About what time of day was this?
This was around 5 o'clock. About 5 o'clock. That I left the yeah, this was about I want to say between 4 and 4:30ish.
And where'd you go?
Okay, and I left the Church's Chicken at about 5. And when I left the Church's Chicken, I went to the dispensary. And that cousin that had called me while I was in the parking lot, I was supposed to meet him, but he wasn't where he said he was going to be, so I didn't meet him, and then I went straight back to Fielding to get ready for a birthday party.
The birthday party with Ashley?
Yes.
And you stayed at Fielding for about how long?
I stayed at Fielding until probably about 8:13.
Did you have anything?
Around 8:13 was when I called Ashley to tell her I was on my way.
Did you have anything to do with Kajavia during that period of time?
No.
Did you know where she was?
No. I did talk to her.
When did you talk?
Briefly. It was literally about, I want to say 5 to 7 seconds. And when I talked to her, she called me Sean.
What'd that mean?
That's what I was getting at. When she called me Sean, which is her friend that John is cool with her having because he's gay. And
in other words, it wasn't the right time to talk?
Right. She kind of rushed me off the phone and said she would call me back. But it literally only lasted like 7 seconds.
Was she in any kind of trouble as far as
No,
you
she
could
didn't
tell?
sound like it. She just sounded like she was trying to get off the phone.
You know where she was?
No.
And what did you do after that call?
This is while I was in the parking lot.
Okay.
While I made all these calls while I'm in the parking lot, just to all these different people, just because I was sitting there bored, waiting. So, yeah, I left there and went to the dispensary. and then I left the dispensary, and then I went to Fielding to prepare for the birthday party, to get like dressed, to get in the shower, put on some clothes.
What time did you leave?
I left
Fielding Street.
I left Fielding. I called Ashley at 8:13 to tell her I was on my way, because my understanding was she got off at 8:30. She did used to tell me she got off a little early to make sure that I got there early.
So did you go pick her up?
Yeah.
Did you ever see or drive or have anything to do with Kajavia's Impala on that day?
No.
Did you ever see the Impala?
Not that day in particular. It was times where we switched cars. She drove my Charger all the time.
But you didn't see it or drive it on December 11th?
No.
You picked up Ashley from Sears, and then you went to what, J. Alexander? Is that what your plan was?
Yeah. We went to J. Alexander to eat. The original plan was to have a birthday party at J. Alexander, but her friend, or our friend, Emily, she was pregnant, and she like canceled last minute. So we decided we still going to eat. So we went to J. Alexander anyway.
And how long did you stay there?
I want to say about 2 hours.
And then where'd you go?
When we left the J. Alexander, Emily had called while I was eating.
Yeah.
And she asked me for some weed. So
what?
She asked me for some weed.
Yeah.
So after we got done eating, I stopped down there to drop it off to her, but when I got there, she wasn't even there. So I just left and went to the Victory Inn with Ashley.
You and Ashley checked into the Victory Inn?
Yes.
To spend the night?
Yes.
What was the reason for that?
Normally we would have stayed on Fielding. A lot of the times I did have my friends, my girlfriends or whatever, I had them on Fielding, but whenever Emily was off of work, whenever she didn't work, you know, you never know, she's coming in and out the house, and at that time it wouldn't be good to do that at that time, where me and Emily was in our arrangements we had, with me not really like actually living there anymore. So and with, like I said, with her being off of work, you know, so I didn't know where Emily was or when she would come back home. So I just opted, you know, and we decided to just get a room instead of going to Canton.
Yeah.
You know, we just opted to get a room.
And so you got a room over at the Victory Inn, and you were spending the evening, and then what happened? Did you get a call from some members of Kajavia's family?
Yeah.
Ask counsel to stop reading his witness.
Just trying to move it a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, I got a call. The first call was at 3:39 in the morning. 3:39 a.m. was the first call that I got. I didn't answer it. I did not know the number. So 3:39 in the morning, I didn't know who it was. I was asleep. So I really didn't answer it, but then I got like 3 more calls right after that. Same number. So it made me get up and answer the phone.
And who was it?
It was Kajavia's mother.
LaShawn.
Yes.
And what went on in that conversation?
At first she didn't sound mad or anything. She just said, "Max, is this Max?" And I said, "Yeah." And she said, and I said, "Who is this?" She said, "Max, this is this Nusi mother." And she said, Nusi didn't come home. She said, "Nusi didn't come home. Have you seen her?" And I said, "No, I didn't. I ain't seen her today." And she was like, "Oh, well, her exact words verbatim were, I know that y'all still fucking, and John seen the video." And so I asked her, what video is she talking about? Because there were several videos, and I didn't know.
You didn't know what video
she was talking about at that time, no. So she said that, well, John said she didn't come home, and he looked on the iCloud that's on the account with him, and he seen a video of us having sex. And she said that it was from Friday. She said that it was supposed to be dated from Friday on the iCloud.
Friday, you mean December 11th?
Right.
And
so
that wasn't the right date, right?
Right. I told her, it's no way. I haven't seen her today, so it's no video from us having sex today. I can guarantee you that. And she was saying, well, that's not what John's saying. Well, I'm saying, and I told her, well, if that's what John's telling you, he lying. Because I haven't seen her today. We didn't have sex today. And
what did you do?
She continued. She told me that she was going to go over to John's house. And at that time, I just told her, okay, well, you let me know when you get there, you know, what happened. Call me back and let me know. And she said she was.
Do you have any idea what was going on with Kajavia at that point?
No. I honestly thought it was like, I didn't think it was anything of any real merit. I just thought it was some type of game that was going on at that time.
What do you mean game?
It was previous issues, like sort of this type of thing, like where, well, not with her missing, because this was not like her to be missing, but it was, you know, I just figured John had seen a video and she didn't go home, and not her mother's calling me. You know, it's childish. We're grown adults. You know, I shouldn't have her mother calling me about something that she did, something I didn't ask her to do, something, you know, I just thought it was something completely different from what everything turned out to be.
And what did you then do after these conversations with Kajavia's mother?
Eventually, they ended up calling me back, probably about 30 minutes later, and it was the mom and her sister, Landriana. And they were calling me a liar and saying that it is a video and it's from Friday. And she went on to say the video got red walls in the background. What video has red walls in the background? So I'm like, the only video that you could be talking about is the video that she just took, like sometime. At this time I was thinking it was sometime last week. So I was like, that video was from like last week or something. She sent it to one of my friends and was arguing with my friend back and forth. And so
Who's arguing?
Kajavia. And so I told her, I'm going to get the video that she sent, and I'm going to send it back to you. I'm going to forward it to you and show you the time and date that it was sent to my friend, so we can get down to the bottom of when this video was taken and sent. So I got up and I went to Fielding, and I woke Emily up. Emily was at the house.
Because Emily had the video on her phone.
Yes. I didn't have the video on my phone. I did see the video, but I didn't have it on my phone. So I knocked at the door. I woke Emily up, like 4 in the morning. I woke Emily up and I asked her, yeah, that video you got, do you still have it? She said, yeah. I asked her to forward it to me and screenshot it, and I sent it to them. And then she immediately called me back. And at that time, I believe I was talking to the sister, to Landriana. And at that time, she said, yeah, this video was from Monday, December 7th. And she said, yeah, it was from December 7th. And she said, Kajavia tried to hide it, like it was in like a deleted file or something. You know, and it was just a mix-up. And just if I see her, let them know. And that was the extent of the phone calls that morning.
On Saturday?
Saturday early morning. Friday night, Saturday early morning, a.m., yeah.
And then what did you do?
I left Fielding and went back to the hotel.
Back to where Ashley was?
Right.
Did you ever go to that bank in Kajavia's Impala?
No.
You know anything about that incident with the money being taken from that account?
No, I never took anything from Kajavia. If anything, a lot of times Kajavia, I was a person that she could call on to help.
But you weren't there that day?
No.
And you didn't see Kajavia that day?
No.
Had some contact with her?
Yes, on the phone.
What'd you do later that morning, Saturday morning?
We left the hotel early in the morning, like even before the checkout, probably about 8, 9 o'clock, we left. It might have been a little earlier, but we left early in the morning, and I went back on fielding, and Ashley went home to get ready for work.
And what did you do?
Nothing. When I got on fielding, Emily was there. Saturday morning, Emily was at the house. She asked me, you know, what was that all about? Why you wake me up to send the video, and who was you on the phone with? And I explained to her further. But at that time, I didn't think it was anything of any real merit. I didn't think it was anything serious at that time. Like I said, I thought it was just, she just didn't come home because John saw the video.
And what did you do?
I continued with my day. I got in the shower. I showered and put on clothes and
saw your grandmother?
Yeah, I left back out with Ashley. And I dropped Ashley off to work Saturday morning. Around 11:30, 12 o'clock. And then, I think it was 11 or 11:30, because I met my grandmother immediately after. I had talked to my grandmother the previous day, and we had agreed to meet, because I actually had some news that I wanted to tell her or whatever, and we had already agreed to meet at the for breakfast.
And did you?
Yes.
You know the vacant house across the street
Yes.
from 18532?
Yes.
You ever go back there?
Never.
You ever take any of those dumpsters back there?
I never even been on the sidewalk on that side of the street. I never even walked over there. I've never even seen a car parked in front of that house. Never.
Sunday morning, you stayed at the house on Fielding, right?
Yeah, Sunday. Yeah. Saturday night I stayed at the house through Sunday morning.
And what'd you do?
With Emily.
Emily was there?
Right.
What'd you do Sunday morning?
I got up because again I was supposed to get up and take Brandis to work, and so I woke up like 30 minutes late, so I was up, and I had called her to make sure she was up and she was good to go, and she was good, and so I was up. So I was gone for a period of time at the house on Fielding, and we had a dog that was in the basement most of the time.
You were gone, you weren't living there, is that what you mean?
Right, I was gone, yeah, long periods of time, and Emily was working long periods of time, so the dog was always in the basement locked up, and I was the only person that cleaned up after the dog or did that type of thing. That wasn't Emily type of deal. So I took that chance to, you know, get the dog situated. I got up, I fed the dog.
What were you cleaning up down there?
I got up and fed, just like poop, like dog poop and stuff.
Was there other debris or other things down there that you were cleaning up?
We had bought all new pillows. We bought all new pillows for our bed, and so the old pillows that we had, we just like gave them like to the dog, so to speak. Like we put them on the floor to position as like a bedding, because he had like a dog bed, but he ripped it up. He bit it all up and tore it up. So we used the pillows, the old ones.
Was there water or flooding down there too?
Minor. Like if we used the washing machine, sometimes it would come up just a little bit, but it wouldn't like be like a major.
Were you cleaning up the house?
Yeah.
And what were you doing?
I cleaned up. I started with the basement to try to start cleaning up some of that stuff down there, and we had, like I said, I wasn't there for a while. I was gone for approximately like 40 days. So, you know, and Emily didn't much clean, so because she was always working. So I just tried to get some of that stuff cleared out, whatever, just the trash. We had like multiple trash bags in the house, like they were filled and tied up but not taken out. The dog downstairs, like I said, dog poop, and he had ripped some of the pillows up.
What was the purpose of that plastic bagging material in the house? Where did that come from?
Plastic bagging material?
The plastic material that was taken from the house.
Are you referring to the fiber fill, as they've been referring to it?
Right.
Oh, the fiber fill material?
Yeah.
That was where the dog, you know, ripped up the pillows. Like he just, I don't know, he like had a problem. He was like biting up and ripping up stuff. Like he ripped up the pillows. So they were like ripped and shredded and scattered, and then he had like peed on them and stuff. So like all of this stuff was built up down there, and it was like just to get to the wash machine. So I went down there and started trying to, you know, clean some of it up when I went to feed the dog.
What time of the day was this?
This was early morning. This was, like I said, I was up because I was supposed to take Brandis to work.
And what were you, how many bags did you fill up? How many trash bags did you
Well,
fill up?
it was already bags already filled up, and then I filled up probably just a couple more bags. I didn't even get to everything because it was a lot, but I did make sure I took the trash out.
And which, how many containers did you fill up?
Well, we already had, okay, we had one container at our house on Fielding.
At 18532?
18532. Immediately south, right next door to our house, is a house that was like burned down, and they had a trash can. And we kept both of those cans in the driveway of that abandoned house, of that vacant house, right next door to our house. So that was just our two cans that we had. One of the cans was already full, but I put like more in there, and then I put more in the other can.
And what'd you do with those cans?
Well, we have trash pickup on Mondays, so that morning, probably about 8:30, 9 o'clock, I put the trash cans on the street for pickup.
Where'd you put them?
I put one right in front of the house on the curb, and then I put one like, I think adjacent to it, like right across from it.
At the vacant house? The vacant yellow
right
house.
in front, yep.
Was there a body in that either of those bins?
No.
Did you have anything to do with Kajavia's body being in any of those any bins?
No. No.
Did you go into the backyard of the other house?
I never even went on that side of the street. My whole time living on Fielding, I never even walked over there. It was like all leaves and trash, and nobody ever went over there. I never seen anybody at that house. I never went over there.
Was Kajavia ever inside your house on December 11th or December 12th?
No.
When's the first time you found out? I'll strike that. So what were you doing the rest of the day on Sunday?
On Sunday, I left with Ashley about, I want to say 11:30.
She came
11 o'clock-ish, yes.
She came to you to pick you up?
Yep, she came and picked me up, same deal. And we stopped and got something to eat that day. We stopped at Popeye's Chicken on 8 Mile. And we sat in there and ate because we had time to burn, because she didn't have to be to work till, I want to say 1 or 2 o'clock, around the same time as the other days. So we sat in there and ate. And, excuse me. We left the Popeye's Chicken and we went straight to Sears. When we got to Sears, it was like same time I was pulling into the Sears, or she was pulling into the Sears, I get a phone call, and it's from Kajavia's sister, Alondriana.
And what was that about?
She told me that they were on 7 Mile and Evergreen at a print shop right there to print flyers, and she said that she wanted me to pass out some flyers, or did I want to, she asked me, and I said, yeah, of course I'll pass out some flyers, I help. And I asked her, you know, where you want me to put them, and she was like, well, you tell me, where can you go, where you want to go. So I was like, okay, well, I'll, you know, just, you know, let me know type of deal or whatever, right? You know, I'm like, long as it's West Side. And she was like, okay. And then she was like, it's a detective that's been trying to call your phone. He been trying to get in touch with you. And she gave me his number, and I called him.
And then what happened?
I called Detective Ball, I believe it was. I called him, and he told me to come down to meet him.
And did you do that?
Yeah. Yep. I went down to meet him, but I don't think I talked to him. I think I talked to another guy, another detective. When I got down there, I'm not sure if it was him or another detective that I actually talked to.
Where else did you go on that day, on Sunday?
After I talked to the detective, Ashley was still there with me, and we left the police station and we went back on Fielding. And when I got done with the police, I called the sister back, and she put me on the phone with a family friend that was there with him, and she said that she was going to meet me to bring me some flyers at a store, because Kajavia's mom's house is literally, like, I want to say 4 blocks from Fielding. It's like all in the same area. So she said she was going to meet me at the corner store, at the party store, to bring some flyers. And I went to the party store to meet him to get the flyers by myself. Ashley she had to use the bathroom, and I went to meet them to get the flyers.
That's Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
You know, have any idea what the progress is for looking for Kajavia?
No, at that time I didn't. When I got to the store to get the flyers, like 3 girls ran up to the car, and I noticed they was videotaping me. Like, soon as they got to the car, they were videotaping me, and she immediately started asking me questions about my Charger, about my Dodge Charger, and asking me why did I switch cars. All of a sudden I switched cars.
What did that have to do?
At the time I didn't know what it had to do with anything either. I hadn't drove my Charger since like September of last year.
When's the first time you started hearing anything about accusations against you after Kajavia went missing?
The first time I actually heard them myself?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Monday or Tuesday. I'm gonna say Tuesday or Monday when they found her. But like a lot of the accusations I heard that following Tuesday and Wednesday, that's when most of all of the stuff families putting on Facebook. And
were there a lot of people around the neighborhood on Fielding?
Yeah, at the time.
The time being after Kajavia's body was found?
Yeah.
You know how Kajavia's body got back there?
No, not at all. And it's a lot of trash where that dumpster was at. Like, to get...
You saw the pictures, right?
Right, I saw pictures, and to look at the pictures, to get through, it just didn't seem like it was from that point of area. It seemed more, it was a direct path from Patton, but from the pictures it was like debris up, at least up to my ankles.
So it looked to you like it got in from the back and not from the front?
Yeah, it just looked, it didn't look like it even came from that way. Like I said, with all that debris there and all the mud and dirt. And
you heard Tina Morell's testimony, didn't you?
Yes.
What do you make of that?
Objection, Your Honor. Asking this witness to comment on another witness's testimony. I'll speak with the answer.
Well, at the time that Miss Morell is saying that she saw me like wheeling trash cans to the back of a vacant house, I was with Ashley. Cell phone records prove it, that I was with Ashley at the Popeye's Chicken, which is in a totally different cell phone tower than the cell phone tower on Fielding. So I can't, my phone is there, but she's saying that I'm there. It doesn't, just like Brandon saying he saw me at the car wash at 2 o'clock. And my cell phone got me in Livonia, and it's got Kajavia's cell phone in Southfield Lathrop. So the cell phone actually shows a lot. You know, you have to just look at the fine print, but it shows a lot of what's going on.
What were you around the neighborhood when Kajavia's body was found?
No, I was actually with Brandis when her body was found. We had planned this earlier in the day. She had called me and we talked, and we met up, and I hadn't ate the whole day, so we went and got something to eat, and then we went to her house, and I wasn't there like 10 minutes before I started getting calls, and that's how I found out. But I had just left Fielding. I was just there literally 30 minutes before the call started ringing in.
Did you ever have a situation when you were with Kajavia and she got sick during sex?
Yeah, back in 2008 or 9, it was 2009. Kajavia went to Wayne State for like a year or two, and
let's get the answer to it.
Yes, she broke out into like some sort of convulsion.
Is that the only time you ever saw that?
That's the only time I ever saw that.
Do you know what it was all about?
At the time, my understanding, I thought it was some type of seize, but I never ever seen it again. In all of the years that we've been with each other, I never seen it other than that time.
Did you ever talk to anybody in the neighborhood or hear, strike that, members of Kajavia's family talking to people in the neighborhood over on Fielding?
Well, I heard a lot of things that was, it's speculation, of course, but it was a lot of things that was going around the neighborhood. I received a call from a cousin that told me that he was in the parking lot in the area at the shopping plaza, and he said that some guys had.
I'm gonna object to this hearsay.
Did you know people were talking about you on the social media?
Yes, I seen it.
With your picture?
Yes. They posted pictures saying that the police was looking for me.
I don't believe there's a question before.
There isn't. But thank you. I have no further questions. Thank you.
A very lengthy summary that you have in front of you, is that correct? It's about 7 pages?
Yes.
Maybe I missed it, but I don't see in here anywhere where you handed out flyers.
Well, the reason why I didn't hand out the flyers is because when I got to the liquor store, the party store, to meet them to get the flyers, they were videotaping me.
So you never received any flyers?
I did receive multiple flyers.
When did you receive the flyers?
At that time when they were videotaping me, questioning me about the cars.
What date was that?
That was Sunday night after I left the police station.
When did you hand out the flyers?
I never handed out the flyers.
Now, is it your testimony that you've never been on the opposite side of the street of Fielding?
Yeah. No, I'm saying I never. What I'm saying is I've never been in front of that house on the sidewalk even of Fielding.
What I also didn't see in this summary is when you smoked with Brandon Watts on Monday morning.
Okay. Brandon Watts said I was his friend. I'm not his friend. I don't.
Brandon Watts said, I'm asking you, where is that in your summary?
It's not in there because it didn't happen.
Yeah, the guy that's over across the street, and Brandon was, talking to him or whatever. We smoked the blunt like that morning, I want to say.
Is that your voice?
Yeah.
Did you hear yourself say you smoked the blunt with Brandon on that morning?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Now, let's see. I believe on direct you said for some reason Miss Kajavia Globe did not approve of you. Do you remember saying that?
Yes.
Do you think it had anything to do with the fact that you kept putting her hands on her daughter?
I never
Yes or
ever,
no?
I never put my hands on Kajavia. I never hit her.
Really?
Never.
Okay.
And right above that text, she was saying, they have Sunday dinner every Sunday, and she goes over there. She was saying, you know, I'm coming with a sound. So Uncle L was really a nigga that she was fucking. Okay, so once I found out, I got mad and slapped her. Like, my hand was just like this across the seat. I slapped this shit out of her. Yes, I did.
That's not a question, sir. There's no question before you right now. The question that I'm going to ask you, do you think she didn't approve of you because you put your hands on her daughter?
I did not put my hands on her. That video, I mean that voice recall is what I was reciting back to someone what was being said about me. Exactly verbatim, reading what they said about me.
Okay,
that
so
wasn't something that I said
sir,
that I did.
Stop. So, in February, after you were taken into
Wow.
custody, you didn't have a conversation with this officer, Michael Crosby, where you said you slapped the shit out of Kajavia Globe? You didn't say that?
I never said I slapped.
Your Honor, may I play the
This
video?
people, this is.
May I play the
You-
clip of the video?
Witness, wait, just answer her question. Yes or no?
Did you say that to Officer Michael Crosby after you were taken into
This
custody?
is so. I'm sorry. Say that again.
Did you say that to Officer Michael Crosby after you were taken into custody that yes, you slapped the shit out of her?
On what date?
On what date did you say it?
On what date did I say that I slapped the shit out of Kajavia?
February 5th, 2016.
No, I'm saying what date did
Sir,
was this
answer my
incident
question.
supposed to happen?
Answer my question. Did you say it?
The interview with Michael Crosby was 4 hours.
Did you say
I don't recall saying it, but like I said, I did say.
Sir, you've answered the question. Would you play it, please?
And right above that text, she was saying, they have Sunday dinner every Sunday, and she goes over there. She was saying, you know, I'm coming with a sound. So Uncle L was really a nigga that she was fucking. Okay, so once I found out, I got mad and slapped her. Like, my hand was just like this across the seat. I slapped this shit out of her. Yes, I did.
That was taken from your interview with Officer Michael Crosby, was it not?
Right, and
So, sir, you've answered my question. Going back to Ms. Globe not approving of you, is it possible she didn't approve of you because you sold pills?
Miss Globe didn't know what I did.
As far as you know.
Miss Globe didn't know what I did. She didn't know me. I probably only seen her 10 times. Not even that.
Okay, so, but that day that you slapped the shit out of her daughter, she actually called the police.
No. That day,
That wasn't on Pembroke down the street from her
that
in
day-
November 2014?
no, that's not the day. That's not what that video is referring to. That report.
Sir, you get to ask my questions. You don't get to expound.
Okay.
Are you saying that she did not call the police after you slapped her daughter?
That
Yes
report.
or no?
No, it didn't happen there. Nothing happened at her mother's house.
It wasn't on the way to her mother's house?
No.
Now,
Can I explain what happened?
no, you cannot. What phone number were you using in December 2015?
313-629-6633.
Do you remember what Miss Garrett's phone number was?
Yes, 313-425-6578.
Now, you actually have a tattoo of Miss Globe's lips on your neck, don't you?
No, they're not Miss Globe's lips. Miss Globe thought they were her lips, but they're not. But I do have a tattoo of her name on my back.
It's her lips right here that her name goes on my back. Who was that? Who was that? Kajavia.
They're not her lips?
I lied to Kajavia and
You
told
lied to the
her.
officers too.
I told her that they were her lips and they weren't hers.
I'm not talking about what you told Kajavia. I'm talking about what
Okay,
you told
yes,
the
I did.
officers.
I did tell the detective that the lips were Kajavia's.
But they're not.
She thought always that they were hers.
Sir, I'm not asking you what you told Kajavia or what she thought.
Okay.
Did you tell the officers that they were her lips?
Yes.
You also have her name tattooed on your back, correct?
Yes.
She used to have a tattoo of your name, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
She covered that up, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
How many times were you invited to the Globe Sunday dinner?
I never even inquired to go.
So you never went?
No.
Now, you've told this jury on direct that you dated other women and she dated other men. You guys were cool with that you had an understanding, correct?
Right.
But we just also heard that you find out she's inviting another guy to Sunday dinner and you slapped her.
That's not what I said in that video. What I said in that video...
Sir, did you not say you saw a text message where she said she was bringing LaSalle to Sunday dinner?
Yes. I seen the text
You
message.
slapped her.
That's not...
Did you slap her?
You mixing my words up. You mixing it up. You're not giving me a chance to say.
I'm asking
So...
you to answer my questions.
Okay.
After you saw that text message, did you slap her? Yes or no?
That's not the way it happened exactly. But some point after all of this, at that particular situation, yes. But that's not the situation where her...
You have answered my question. Please stop talking. Now, isn't it true, before December of 2015, you didn't have Kajavia's number?
I'm sorry, what was that question?
Before 2015, you didn't have her number.
I always had her number. She was on my plan before she got on John's.
Wasn't she calling you private in October?
Yeah, when she first got on John's number, she always called me to see me. She always called me.
I want you to listen to my questions. If for some reason you don't understand, please let me know and I'll rephrase it, okay?
Yes.
Before December 2015, October 2015, was she calling you private?
Yes, always.
And there was no way you could contact her because she was calling you private, right?
No, that's not true.
You were sending her emails,
We emailed each other back and forth.
but you couldn't call her.
No, I didn't have her phone number.
You didn't get her number until December of 2015, right?
Right. After, yeah.
And you were calling her at a 248 number, correct? She had
I'm
a
sorry.
248 number.
Yeah.
Now, I believe you told us that your first house was on Braille near Keeler?
Yes.
Is that in the Brightmoor area?
I believe, yeah.
Do you frequent that area now?
No.
Have no reason to go there now, right?
No. Only, it's, you go through there to get to 96. You drive through to Losser to get to 96.
Did you go there on Saturday, December 12th?
Saturday, December 12th?
Yes.
No.
And are you telling us that you did not know that Kajavia was recording you and herself on December 7th?
As I told Mr. Weissman, initially I didn't, but then I did. And it was the second video that was made where I knew she was recording me.
And there's a point in that video where you say, "Hi, Emily."
In the second video, after the call with me, Emily, yes. Not the initial video.
I'm not distinguishing between the videos. I just said, were you aware that she was recording?
In the second video, there were two that day, yes.
And the answer is yes.
Yes, the second video.
And in that video, that second video, you say, "Hi, Emily."
Yes.
Did you give Ms. Globe Emily's phone number?
No, I did not. When we took that video, she already had sent the
Answered
first
my
one.
question, sir. Now, on December 14th, 2015, what time did you leave Fielding for the last time?
Brandis got there about I want to say she got there about between 3:30 4 o'clock.
What time did you leave Fielding for the last time?
Between 3:30 and 4 o'clock
And
p.m.
did you call Emily, or did Emily call you and tell you about all the police officers on that?
Before I can't really remember if she called me or I called her. I believe she called me. I believe it.
And she told you there were a lot of police officers on the block, correct?
She was hysterical. She said there was a lot of stuff going on the block, police, and it was tape, and it what's going on the block. It got to be something going on. It's police and tape.
Did you go back to here?
Right.
Did you go back to Fielding?
Yeah, I drove past the area. I drove through the area.
Did you go to 18532 Fielding?
No, you couldn't get to 18532 Fielding. You couldn't get
not
there.
by car, right?
Right, you couldn't get through. Not even hardly through people. It was like a major crowd on both sides.
Did you go back to that neighborhood, that block, that day?
Yes.
What time?
I want to say about 6:30.
You didn't tell Officer Crosby that you did, not only did you not go back, but you went to hang out with Brandis in Southfield for about 3 or 4 hours just watching it on the news?
No, I did not. No, that's not how that, no.
No, you didn't.
We saw, no, I got.
It's a yes or no question.
Say that one more time just so I can understand everything that you're saying.
Okay. Did you tell Officer Crosby that once you were alerted that there were numerous police officers on Fielding, you did not go back to Fielding, you actually went to Southfield with Brandis and stayed there for about 3 or 4 hours watching it on the news?
No, I told Officer Crosby that before it even came on the news, I got the phone calls, and that's what made me and Brandis get up, and that's what made me get in the car. Before the news even came on, it was like about to come on the news, and I didn't sit there at Brandis' house for 3 or 4 hours and watch it on the news with Brandis.
Okay. After you get the call from Emily, do you go back to Fielding?
Yes, sometime after I got the phone call. Yes, I did.
Right after you get the call?
No, I don't. Right after. Right after I get the call, me and Brandis get in the car, and we go to, we went to like Southfield and 8 Mile, but she had to go back home because like it was just a lot going on and her mom wanted her to come back home. So I got in the car with a cousin.
Sir, stop. Where's this Coney Island in relation to the house on Fielding?
Right around the corner.
So if Brandis had to go back home, you couldn't walk?
No. Brandis lives in Southfield. The Coney Island we went to is right around the corner on 7 Mile and Evergreen.
I understand. Do you understand my question?
No.
If Brandis needed to leave, but you wanted to go back to Fielding, you could have walked back to Fielding, yes?
No, I heard this at Brandis' house. We were at the house. We were probably at the house not even like 10 minutes.
Oh, so you didn't hear it at the Coney Island?
No, I didn't hear it at the Coney Island.
Okay.
At the Coney Island.
Stop. You've answered my question, sir. When was the last time you talked to Kajavia on December 11th, 2015?
I want to say it was 4:53ish.
You remember telling the officers several times you didn't talk to her after 2?
I remember telling the officers that I talked to her last about 1:30, 2 o'clock, and what I was referring to was the call that we actually talked, where we asked each other, what were you doing today, what you doing today, that type of deal. I did not...
Did you talk after that?
Yes, we did talk for the 6 seconds where she told me she had to go, she got to call me right back.
But you talked?
Yes, that's considered talking.
Do you understand what the question means when someone asks you, when is the last time you talked to somebody?
Right, yes. It was months later.
Sir, the question is, Do you understand what that question means?
Yes.
It doesn't mean when is the last time you had a meaningful conversation, right?
Right, but it was more hard for...
You answered my question.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you tell the officers that the last time you talked to her was at 1:30, but you talked to her later than that, you're not telling them the truth.
At that time, I didn't realize it. It was months later when we talked, when we had this interview. So it's hard for me to...
Your memory about what happened in December 2015 got better over time?
I'm sorry?
You didn't remember in February that you talked to her after 1:30?
It's just at that time talking, it's just... The last time I remember, he asked me the last time I talked to her, and the last time I remember actually having a full conversation, or a conversation with her. That's what came to mind.
Did he ask you about the last time you had a full conversation, or the last time
No,
you
he
talked
didn't.
to
He
her?
said the last time I talked to her, but I associated it.
Here's my question. Did you remember in February of 2016 that you had talked to her after 1:30?
You said, did I remember that I talked to her after 1:30?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember.
Look, did you answer my question? Was it yes?
I remembered I talked to her.
Okay.
Like
Now, how long were you cleaning that basement on Sunday?
Not long, because Emily stopped me. She told me to just come chill out with her. It wasn't long because I didn't finish it.
How much did you do?
A lot, and it still wasn't even finished. It was like, I want to say it was at least 20 bags, literally, of trash and poop and yeah, a lot of stuff.
You filled up 20 bags of fiberglass?
No, 20 bags of trash around the house. It wasn't just the basement, it was the kitchen. The kitchen had like approximately 4 or 5 bags just bagged up. Then it was stuff in the basement just bagged up.
Where did you put these trash bins?
Where did I put the trash bins?
Yeah, when you pulled them out on Sunday.
Oh, I put them one in front of the house, and then one right adjacent from it, right across from it.
So both on the same side of the street?
No, right across from it, on the other side, right in front, right on the curb.
Same side of the street or opposite side of the street?
The opposite side of the street.
So you pulled one in front of your house and one in front of the vacant house?
Yeah.
The early morning hours of December 12th, did you drive from the hotel to Fielding to get that video?
Yes.
How did you get it to her mother and her sister?
Because her mother and her sister...
How? Why? How?
I sent it to them in a text. I texted to them.
But you drove to go get it?
Yeah, because Emily had it in her phone. I didn't have it in my phone. Kajavia...
How did she pass it to you in your phone?
How did Emily pass it to me?
Yeah.
Through a forward. She forwarded it to me, and then she screenshot it to where it was on the phone.
So she like sent you a text message with the video in it?
She screenshotted the actual video being received, right? Like on the phone where it shows the date and time.
I got that.
Right, and then...
How did she send it to you?
Through a text message?
Are you asking me?
I'm saying through a video. I mean through a picture, I'm sorry.
So she sent it from her phone to your phone?
I don't remember if I forwarded it straight from her phone to their phone, but I believe I forwarded it to my phone before I forwarded it to their phone. I believe I did.
Didn't actually need to be in the same room for that?
No.
Didn't need to be in the same house for that?
No. But...
Nothing further. Can you read your
Well, why did you do it that way?
Because it was early in the morning, and I tried to call Emily and she didn't answer, so I just went down there because they were saying that the video was from Friday and it wasn't from Friday. I just wanted to show them that the video wasn't from Friday.
In other words, the last time you saw her, was Wednesday previously.
Right.
And the actual sex video was on Monday, December 7th. Is that right?
Right.
And you were trying to show that to the family.
Yes, just to show them because they were thinking that the video was from another day.
This business about your relationship and hitting Kajavia, what was that all about? What was going on? When was that?
Me and Kajavia, we lived together. Okay?
Yes.
And there came a time where we both had phones or whatever, and she seen something in my phone about me going with another girl or whatever. I was asleep. And
May we approach?
Yeah.
Just for purposes of the record, Your Honor, I am formally objecting as to Mr. Brack's response being non-responsive.
All right, the lawyers have to try to control the witnesses to get the responsive answers so we can wrap this up. Okay, go on.
What was your relationship with Ms. Kajavia Globe on December 11 and December 12, 2015?
what was my relationship is what you're saying?
Yes.
Do you mean like...
Were you angry at it?
Oh, no, we wasn't mad or anything at each other. It wasn't nothing. Aside from when she sent that video, I told her she was childish. But like Tuesday morning, she texted me and called me like it never even happened. And we continued from there. It was never an issue or...
Did you have any intent to kill that young lady?
No, I had no reason to. I loved her. Definitely didn't want to see anything bad happen to her.
No further.
Any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, let me step down. Okay, Ms.
We may have one more witness. I just want to consult with my client.
Do we need a break?
Perhaps so.
Okay, I'm only going to take about a 5 or 10 minute break because
That's all.
I want to wrap up with you.
I understand.
Okay. You have a serious definite jury.
All right.